Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
Okay, be patient with Tom today. Be patient. Technology's put him in a mood. And technology can do that to the best of us. So you need to be understanding. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Talking Real Money, the calm edition. I'm Don McDonald. Tom is mellowing out there in the aircraft hangar. Are you mellow now?
Quit saying there's a guy who really thought this was an aircraft hangar. Come on.
I love the aircraft hangar.
It's not.
Yeah, but you'd get a kick out of planes. I mean, the Super
I
Bowl.
love planes.
The flyover, it was one of your favorite parts.
That and the halftime show I thought were the two best parts of the whole thing. Yeah, I get it. So,
okay. I do not like rap. I just
it was a great halftime show, dude,
but it was
no
a good
matter what
show.
Kind of music. Yeah, it was.
I don't like
remarkable.
Okay.
Some guy hanging upside down and rappers from 25 years ago.
Nothing like
cool.
people hanging upside down. Wow.
Like, I guess you could watch a football game and see that too. So cool.
Flipping through the air, breaking knees, things like that. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Talking Real Money, the combo show. This is the podcast. And because I'm looking into the camera, the video cast too, because I forget to look into the camera a lot when we do the video cast version, because on my Mac, the camera's way up here. I keep trying to get a camera that can be in the middle of the screen where I look. You can't do that. I know somebody's tried stupid ideas. Anyway, welcome to our little program. Today, our topic is families. We love them. They drive us nuts. It's part of the deal. Matter of fact, I just did a short story from the 19 teens by Edna Ferber, who was a Pulitzer Prize-winning author, and she wrote the movie Giant and the
great film.
The play for Showboat. She wrote the book.
Is that Rock
Showboat.
Hudson?
Rock Hudson, James Dean.
Yeah. That's a great
Liz
movie.
Taylor. Anyway, this author, she wrote a story called That's Marriage. And
I'm not reading that one.
Oh, no, you can't read it. I narrate it. You just listen.
Okay.
You can listen on your way to work at litreading.com. It's a great story, and it talks about the love-hate relationship that we have with our families. And that, when the studies are done, polls are done of married couples, there are two things that come to the top, that float right to the top of the list as causes of marital strife.
Oh, why don't you tell us, Don, please?
And I'm well aware of both of them. One of them is money. I'm not even going to talk about the other one because this isn't a talking real that.
Yeah, you know why you are? You know why you are? Because a survey I'm going to mention, in the survey, it found that 1 out of 4 American adults has not had sexual relations in the last year.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talking Real Sex, the only show that dares to go there.
I'm not making this stuff. That probably just put our ratings right through the
year. Wait a minute.
More than 25% of the
married
people served. It didn't say married. They're not mutually exclusive. It did not say married. No, it said 1/4 of American adults. Yep.
Oh, okay. They
adults.
did categorize it as adults.
Yes,
I was going to say,
adults.
Wait,
no.
Children
adults.
Don't count.
No,
they better
adults. 1/4 of American adults. Here's the other number that staggered me. Really did stagger me.
Now we're going to be in trouble again with one of those dads out there who's going to call and go, I was in the car listening to your podcast on Talking Real Money, and I had to explain to my children what sex was.
And what's cheesecake? Anyway, here's the thing, okay? But I found this a more interesting and maybe surprising number, especially the week of Valentine's
the sex
Day.
number is pretty, I don't know. That was pretty surprising.
I don't want to be part of that group. I don't want to be part of this group
I don't
either.
want to be part of that. I don't want to be part of any of these groups.
It's about half of America is not married or not in a somewhat permanent relationship of adults, not children.
The times they are a change.
No, I mean, I found it sad. So one of the reasons you point out, and one of the big reasons that leads, we know, to divorce is money.
Money.
No joking. So, I mean, and I stole this a little bit because there was a massive write-up in the Wall Street Journal this week, of course, because it's Valentine's Day, right?
Right. It was in the journal report section.
Correct. And it said the title of the piece is "The Best Ways for Couples to Share Finances."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I find this a fascinating topic.
Tell me some of the best ways.
I've asked everyone else since that I read this piece. Just had breakfast with a fella, and I asked him. His wife handles everything. He trusts her. He's on the road a lot, so she takes care of the money. But there are a number of people in this article there's a lot of people that wrote in that have been married.
You know,
for a
you're
while.
Shadowing your face for the video fans at home,
and no one will care. Here's the thing. Sorry, a number of these people, a pretty good size, keep their money separate, which I find fascinating. I mean, I think it's okay. I guess I think it's a little strange. And just for full disclosure, in our household, I do pay the bills. I make more of the money. My wife, well, we have a joke. It's everything that I have is ours. Everything she has is hers. I guess that's not
wait a
our
minute.
joke.
No, wait. That's unusual. That's the way it is in my house.
Okay. Well, I don't. Okay. Maybe not.
No. I mean, she has her accounts. Mm-hmm. And then we have our account.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough, I guess. So anyway, but a lot of these people, how do they deal with it? So this, like one person said, that he is the appointed CFO, but they keep their money separate. They sit down and review everything once a year, and they have the file about, if I get hit by a bus, what do I do? Some of them actually have written agreements. Like prenuptial kind of agreements, like, here's what you're going to do. I love this one about, I did all the finances at the beginning of our marriage. This inequity turned into a weird dynamic where my spouse felt like she needed to ask for permission to spend money. Boy, have I been there. And it's no fun to be the person who says, well, so they developed a budget and financial scorecard, and they actually have their kids involved. I think that's terrific because discussing. I mean, that was my point after reading all this, I separate finances. I've seen it done. I think it's very tricky. But I have, we do have a lot of couples that we counsel people on money, even though we're not Dr. Phil.
For 30 years, we've gotten by with his, hers, and ours pretty effectively. But
okay, that's different than what I said. I said mine was ours, hers is hers.
I see what you're saying.
It's
yeah.
It's
that is
kind
different.
of a joke in some ways, but it's important to my wife. She got married later in life, shall we say, and she'd always had her own money and did her own thing. She didn't have anybody else that she had to report to and say, can I do this or not do that? I get all that. Okay. So, but if you're in that situation, if you're in any relationship, which I guess only half of you are, what are the keys? I think number one, even under Don's system or my system, really is transparency, which is hard. It says a lot of these people cheat financially. They give people money in their families, or they spend money that they wouldn't if you're sitting down and really arguing about, should we do this or should we do that? And I do think after transparency that not cheating is imperative. I don't know what else to say.
Actually,
if you do, that's bad.
Pretty much in both cases. In the other topic we were discussing too, it's kind of bad in both. Yeah.
Yeah. Amen. And here's the other part of what I find generally with couples. There's usually somebody that's the money person, right? Mm-hmm. There, and in your case, it's not true because you both have financial backgrounds. If you ask my wife, she would point to me and say, "Well, he's the money guy. Isn't this what you do for a living?" Yeah, it's what I do for a living. So, then you've got this situation, the weird dynamic that the person mentioned. You got to bring that other disinterested spouse in. How do you do that? I think that's the toughest part of all of this. Because if you asked my wife how our money was invested, she would have a hard time. She would have a hard time explaining it. But she could tell you where the money was, how much it was, because twice a year, I got it in a spreadsheet. We go through the spreadsheet. We talk about the assets. We talk about the liabilities. We go through of all that. So she knows at least that. And she knows, by the way, if anything happens to me, what number to call and who to ask for.
There's the key. Honestly, I think this is the solution. My mother and my stepfather, my mom got married a couple of times. And, my stepdad was later in life marriage, and they were both older. He had money. She did not. He made great money. He was a physician. They made sure that they went through the process, not necessarily of explaining everything, how it's all done to her, but making sure she knew who the professionals were that they had hired to manage their money. And I have to tell you, that gave her more peace of mind, I think, than being in on everything or worrying about how I'm going to handle all this when he's no longer here, because he is no longer here. She's still alive. He's not alive. And honestly, the thing that saved her so much grief, and this isn't a plug for us, but was her Vestry advisor.
Yeah, and I think that's a very good point. I even if you don't have someone managing your money or have a financial planner, you should know who you would turn to, because somebody needs to be there. And again, if anything happened to me, God bless my wife, she's going to need help. She doesn't know how to deal with all this.
She's going to need a fiduciary advisor.
Indeed.
And so you need to have, even if you're a do-it-yourselfer, even if you're a diehard, I'm really great at doing it myself. I've got the perfectly balanced portfolio. I rebalance regularly. I'm smart. My wife would hate doing this, or my husband would hate doing this. You probably should, in advance, vet some people who can provide the services, the portfolio management and financial life advice services that the deceased spouse had been providing to date.
Happy Valentine's Day. You don't want to be part of those two groups I mentioned earlier. So take care of your significant.
No, I don't want to be part of either one of those groups. So yeah, I mean, and it's going to be different for everybody. There isn't one piece of advice that fits all. Point. And that's why I think it's so important to, you've got to have somebody, if you've got a larger estate, help you establish that, an attorney. If you have a tax advisor, they should be in on this future process and well aware to your spouse. And then that third person is probably that money person. Even if you don't use them, have them in reserve.
And I think that's an excellent point, Don. There is no right or wrong. There is no one way. Everyone navigates this a bit differently. But I do think a few of those points pretty important for the long haul.
Well, we take questions. We take questions by the bajillions, which is an actual number. I'm not sure how many zeros it has, but it's a lot. And it's just too big for my brain. We take them at 855-935-TALK, but we also take them in writing at talkingrealmoney.com on the contact form. And Tom, here is today's last week we had the shortest question ever. This is up there in the longest.
Oh, okay. Please.
Ready?
Yeah.
Background. Age 70. Came to the U.S. 24 years ago with $0. I came late to the party, so I avoided bonds. Oh, by the way, great show. Found you 6 months ago through Clark Howard, who has guided me through the years. I don't hire advisors or non-fiduciary salespeople. I've always self-managed. And then he adds in parentheses, no power leaf blowers were used in this request.
Nice. I love that. Yeah. Moving up on the list. Yeah.
You ready? Here's the meat of the matter. The meat. Okay. Assets, one house, $550,000, free and clear. Small Social Security check. Portfolio. All Vanguard. Wow. Okay. 70% stocks. Remember he said no bonds? Yeah. 9% bonds. Something's missing. Where's the other 21%? He asked. Cash.
What? Yeah. Doing well till then.
I'm doing mega rebalance. I have 7 million. Oh, no, I have 7 funds and 1 ETF VTI. So there's one pre-tax brokerage account with $600K. Got it? One pre-tax SEP IRA with $170K. One Roth IRA for $255. So we're looking at a little over $1 million plus the house. Not bad.
Well done.
Selling S&P 500, VTSAX, VFIAX, VTI, VGSTX, Vanguard Star. That's Star. Replacing it with VT, VNQ, BND, plus I know I need some small cap. My question, reluctant to sell all of the above during a down market. You want to do them one at a time. No, I'll give them all to you. Do I stagger sell off then kind of dollar cost average into my chosen investments according to market activity?
The short answer to that is, of course, no. But here's why.
Wait, there's more.
Oh, there's more. Okay.
I'm concerned about liquidating large chunks into a declining market and then waiting for an advantageous time to reinvest. I can no longer contribute to Roth, so considering backdoor pathway, what would Don or Tom do? Now, sir. I think you're a sir. Doesn't say. But, sir or ma'am, you listen to the program a lot? You listen so much that you like it? If you do, you should already know the answer to this question, Tom.
We are not going to come up with a strategy to time our way in or time our way out of the market. Market behavior is not relevant. What is relevant is, in this case, at age 70, what rate of return you're trying to get. And by the way, I think 21% in cash is outrageous. I don't know the reason behind, unless it's waiting.
I do, because it's right there in those 4 questions. I'm waiting for the right time.
Yeah, well, there's people, by the way, been waiting since 2008. I've met a guy who was still waiting since 2001. So
I know the market's going to go down more than it did then, and then I'm going to get in. This time I'm getting in for sure.
The super bubble will pop. And so no, I mean, you need to have the right asset allocation for your situation, your rate of return, your ability to take volatility, and how much of this you need to draw on. And by the way, in addition to that, due to the fact that you have pre-tax, post-tax, and Roth, you should have separate assets in those. The Roth could have the aforementioned small value. The pre-tax could have the whatever amount of bonds you're going to have. The brokerage could have some in stock. So there's reason maybe to have different assets in different places, asset location, if you will.
And once again, what this is, it's just the perfect example of someone who successfully self-managed for many years, but is now getting to the point in life where the non-existent plan becomes far more essential. Because now your life, I mean, all of our lives are finite, but yours is finiter than most people. So and this is where you need if you can't hear us say it, this is the problem. We say the same thing over and over and over again, Tom, and we've been saying it, the two of us together, for 14 years? No, longer 24 years.
Yeah, going back to 1999. Or before. But I mean,
together that's on 23. The air, together.
You were on. We were on Sound Investing. We can just say 1999 on Sound Investing. So that's
here's 23. The deal.
Yeah.
If you can hear our words and the truth behind them, and here's what we're telling you to do: when you rebalance, you don't play this game. You don't put it aside and slowly dollar cost average it back in, hoping against hope that the market will go down more and you'll buy in as it's falling, and then you'll be in when it's rising, because you don't know. You don't take it out. You don't put it in cash and sit there and go, I'm going to wait till this market falls a little farther. Or I'm not going to sell just yet because, well, it's down 4% over where it was last year. How much money did you make last year? Did you make more than 4%? What are you being greedy? That's exactly what it If you can't hear our words, if you can't take them to heart, and this is addressed, this is addressed to all of you, get yourself a bloody fee-only 100% fiduciary advisor and stop managing your own money because you're becoming your own worst enemy. Thank you.
And ask yourself why you feel like you need to sort of outperform the market by doing some timing trick that allows you to sell low and buy high, because you don't need to. If you have $1 million, you have a reasonable cost of living and your home's already paid for. I'm not seeing it here.
See, here's what we're hoping for. Even over your life expectancy, which could be 20 plus years, what we're looking for is to capture the average return of the markets. We're not looking to capture the peak, the big year every year, and avoid the bad years every year, because we know that is impossible. We're just trying to get the average. Be happy with average, because average is better than average.
Well, it worked for me in school. Let's put it that way. So,
me too. So anyway, I hope that helped. Thank you all. Thank you all for listening. I know you don't always take it to heart, but I know you listen. And give us a call if you have questions at 855-935-TALK. Send your questions in at talkingrealmoney.com. You can speak them there. And we really need you. If you like this podcast, we need you to share it with other people, both verbally and on your social media. That is a big multiplier of your ability, your power to spread the word. Put it on your social media. You hear a podcast and you go, wow, that resonated. There's a link on your podcast service to share it. Share it. Leave a review at Apple Podcasts. And please, please, please keep listening, because we're here pretty much every day. Just Tom, me, hanging out, talking real money.
We hope you realize that the information provided on Talking Real Money is for informational, educational, and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. Providing personalized financial planning or investing advice takes time, so please consult with a really good fee-only fiduciary investment, tax, or legal advisor. We know a good one. Investing must always involve risk. In other words, you can and probably will lose money at times. Also, as much as you want it, no one can accurately and consistently predict the future. So past performance doesn't tell you a darn thing about what the future will bring. Unlike many other programs that say something similar, Talking Real Money is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Apella Capital, a fee-only registered investment advisor. Thanks for listening, and please visit talkingrealmoney.com for more information and disclosures. That's a wrap.